TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you're doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger instructor panties. The green socks. The knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt. Don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and he has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah!" So, after I instructed my co-worker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow-hopped to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say an hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Y'all going to war! I'll let you know on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. Tooling around, tooling along.
Shit! Back on! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style. Let me break it down Barney style.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What is up, Gruntworks Nation? What is up, Veteran Trash Talk? Welcome to episode 92 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsor, 10th Mountain Whiskey. You can check them out at 10thwhiskey.com. Type in VTT and get a discount. Special guests today are Jamie, Susan, and MH from Mind Body Aloha and NRF2 Warrior. And today I'm joined by Nick, Buddy, and Joe. So let's get this dumpster fire started. So the conspiracy today, we're going to talk about cattle mutilations. Nick, shut up. Cattle mutilations, okay? Cattle mutilations have been happening for the last, 100 to 200 years, all right? They started getting documented in the 1970s, and the FBI actually started investigating it, so it's all in the open. You can research it. And all these cattle mutilations around the world, they all have a couple things in common when they've occurred, okay? So like eyes are missing, ears, tongue, major organs. And then the precision that these, body parts are cut out with are literally like lasers, okay? And then a lot of these ranchers the night prior have spotted UFOs or UAPs that we call them now in the skies. So these are still occurring. There was a couple that happened 3 years ago in Colorado. All right, there's a documentary on this rancher. He lost like 3 cows in a matter of like 3 or 4 days. And some of these cows are actually pointed towards a certain direction when they're found. And then there's also burn marks around the cows. So who knows? Maybe it's some devil worshiper group, that's going out there and mutilating these cows. But the precision that it's done in is what's kind of questionable. So I personally, I don't know if it's aliens. I don't know if it's technology that we're doing to mutilate some cows. And the last thing I forgot is all their blood is always gone. So the entire blood of the cow has been drained. So I don't know. We'll see. No, the cow is just like laying there and like no blood. Shrooms. Your answer, Joe, can't always be shrooms, but we're gonna let our guests go first and see what their take is on this. So MH, the floor is yours. Is it aliens? Is it some crazy government cover up? Like what is happening to these cows around the world?
I'm gonna go with aliens. I grew up, my grandfather had a cattle ranch, so I know how big those are. I know how much blood's in them. I've dealt with that, so I'm gonna go aliens.
You've actually personally dealt with it?
No, I'm just saying I've seen the cows and, they've got quite a bit of blood there, so that's impressive.
Okay, all right, aliens, I love it. Jamie, what's your take?
Well, I thought I had it until you said that all the blood was missing from the cow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of threw me for a loop.
So the FBI reports actually show this in the 1970s, and they just stopped working on it. So I don't know what happened with that, but literally all the blood is gone, but there's no blood on the outside, no blood on the grass, just completely gone.
It's kind of like completely sucked out of the cow.
Correct.
Did the cow fill up like a prune?
No.
I have a couple more questions.
Okay, go for it.
No, I'll tell you what, I believe in aliens. Yeah. There's no way that we're on this little blue ball.
Correct.
In the middle of the galaxy, the only living things out here. Right?
I'm with you. Yeah.
Right? So we're on this little tiny ball traveling a million miles an hour, spinning around in orbit. And we're the only living thing that's out here. I believe it's aliens. And the aliens. Now, why do they want the cow?
So they're actually some scientists did some research or whatever, and they said that some of the organs or some of the the makeup of the cow is actually relatable to humans as well. So maybe it's like some crazy, I don't know. Again, who knows? But there is a TV show on Skinwalker Ranch, which is out in Utah. And they really go over this. They're on like season 3 right now. And they had cow mutilations on that ranch too. And yeah, it's some crazy stuff. So who knows? It's not your turn yet, Joe, but go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That had some kind of magnetic pull.
Magnetation?
Yeah, magnetation. Yeah, I was adding a syllable. Yeah. All right. Well, if Dave can talk about aliens, I can add a syllable. Yeah, son of a bitch. With that word. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How far of a stretch is that?
Who knows?
We're talking about aliens.
Joe.
But I'm saying,
but
they talk about the magnetic pull from it causes magnetation.
I like that.
All right. Susan, what's your take?
Symbolism.
Hey, well, first thing came to my mind was Chinatown, because you go down to Chinatown, you know what you're gonna eat. But then when you said the blood thing, that threw me off, and I thought, I don't know, maybe VA is like coming up with some kind of wild stem cells, something to
Crazy research, right? Yeah.
I mean, you never
Cow stem cell.
Everybody knows what's going on.
Who knows? All right. Well, okay, so we're thinking aliens. Buddy, what's your take?
Okay. I'm from Alabama. We've already got this figured out. So everybody just calm down. And I got it. Okay. Aliens are real, but the aliens that are coming down for these cows are carnivorous vampire alien surgeons that are just coming down, and they're taking these organs because they've got a bunch of cows at their planet that are missing those organs. They got to get transfusions, and they got to get organs stacked. So they're throwing them in the cooler, bouncing out, and they're fixing their own cows. They just need spare parts, guys.
That's not a stretch at all.
They just need spare parts, and they're just going over the ice wall. That's all they're doing.
100%.
They're going over the ice wall to Argugula or whatever it's called.
Arugula? I said magnetation earlier, so
yeah, I don't know what it's. They got
whatever.
some near Captain
Science,
Captain Bird or whoever came up with some
Admiral Bird,
Admiral, whatever, Captain Admiral. They're in the Navy. Who cares? Anyway,
so
they got to go over there and they got to fix their cows.
Well, I think
and that's what they're doing.
Navy is like a colonel.
And it's only 3 cows. What are we worried about? We kill more cows than that in like seconds. Fine.
Yeah, so they're actually using the organs to donate to their cows.
We got
Okay,
plenty
interesting
of cows.
take, buddy.
We got plenty of cows. Aliens, if that's all you need is some cows. If it takes giving up 3 cows to keep a couple dudes from getting probed, I'm fine with it.
Maybe they're trying to like GMO an all ribeye cow up there.
Delicious.
To where
Wagyu.
every cut is a ribeye.
Also, why are they picking
just
just
saying.
like, why wouldn't they go to like Kobe and get like some like good
Do you
cow?
go to Kobe for Kobe beef?
Yeah.
Kobe, Japan.
That's where it comes
You
from.
have to go to Kobe
You
for
have
it?
to go
Do they
specifically.
do
Everything
they
else is
import it?
Wagyu.
Wagyu, yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Do
you.
they import it?
Interesting take, buddy.
Yeah. Why
Okay.
well, that's what I don't understand. Why wouldn't you go to where the good cow is? You've got a spaceship. You can literally get there in seconds. You can jump in, grab yourself a quick ribeye. You got $3,000 worth of beef in seconds.
It's a trip up to the gas station if you got a spaceship. Really,
And then
it
you
is.
roll out. You just roll out. You're not even taking a trip to the gas station. You're warping time, coming back. Hey, mama, look
Hey,
what
honey,
I got.
I'm gonna go get some Wagyu.
I got this prime rib. Where'd you get it? I got it free from a confused Japanese guy, and
How
I
much
floated
did it cost?
in.
Don't worry, I'm a
Zip
surgeon.
pop.
I got it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Done. That cow ain't even got no blood anymore. It's fine. We got.
All right. That was good take, buddy. Good take. So they're
I'm here for
actually
you.
donating to their cows on their
Here-
planet.
I'm
Fair
here for
enough.
you. You're
To sum it
welcome.
all up. Joe, what's your take?
I think
you clearly
yeah,
stated
I
your
think I clearly
take.
stated. I was out of turn.
Yeah.
I mean, you briefly stated, yeah.
He doesn't
Okay.
want to say it again because he forgot what he said.
Yeah.
So let's just go.
I did see Skinwalker, and let me tell you something. None of those guys has consistently passed a drug test in the history of their life, Dave. So I'm just saying there may be a little
defamation.
euphoric
You're gonna have to
reaction
take that back.
involved. That is
Alright.
a word, all right.
Yeah, so
That's usually Joe's response is it's always drugs. So, yeah. We'll have to
comes to
talk after the
aliens.
show. Nick, what's your take?
yeah, I'm gonna side with Buddy on this one.
Boom. Vampire.
I
surgeon
was gonna go on the vampire kick, but there's a reason. But people when they question the budget for special forces guys, right? And and it's like, how much do we actually have to pay these guys to train them? Do we have to do these certain things?
We think outside the box. That's
Exactly.
the
You
point.
don't get an answer like that unless you pay somebody to learn an answer like
Boom.
that. So he's been through so much training. It's obvious that it's vampire aliens. And
Usually the correct answer is the most obvious answer.
Right.
Vampire alien surgeons
Right.
is the most obvious answer.
Vampire alien surgeon.
also-
So there we have it.
Also,
Okay.
I just finished.
Dave
I
says
just
my
finished.
reaction is always drugs. We made a T-shirt
yeah,
called Jody
I-
the Gray Alien. Did we not?
I
Yeah,
literally
that was me. I
just
said that.
finished my first semester after getting out of the army.
Of the
and
Harvard-
you know what?
Love you,
Out
Joe.
of the Harvard of the South of the Southeast,
Austin
P. State
Yeah, of course.
University,
Yep.
go Govs. Anywho,
Yep.
and
No big
and
deal.
what
I'm
I
at the
did
Yale,
find
the
out,
Southwest, no big
the
deal.
longest answer is usually also the correct answer. You got a better answer that's longer than alien freaking surgeon vampires?
Vampires.
I don't think you do.
But I also do think that the ribeye comment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I can see them.
They're
'cause-
GMO
'cause
and an all ribeye
Dave,
cow.
what we have forgotten about was a conspiracy a couple of weeks ago where people were getting pregnant unexpectedly.
I want to know that.
As opposed to telling your husband you cheated on him, you just say an alien fucked me, right?
Yep, we made a shirt.
So
check it out. Shop.VeteranTrashTalk.com. Yep. No.
We don't know, but it could be real. So maybe they got done with our women. And they're
and
on
our men.
and our men.
Now they're
They
trying to
can
steal
get
Because men can
pregnant
get
now,
pregnant.
too.
Nobody brought a doctor on. He disproved that.
But that was
The
just on the
doctor
fifth.
said you
that
can't
wasn't
get
on
pregnant
this
as
show.
a man. So
That being
um,
said, that may be.
Yeah.
Or they got to feed their families.
all right.
So
So,
they all want
I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna
porterhouses.
side with Buddy, but let's not forget that there are still women getting impregnated by aliens and ruining marriages.
Right.
So it's terrible.
World War III.
Happy situation.
Aliens.
Mick, the floor is yours. You're next on the.
Aliens are everybody knows aliens
It
are
is
the
mine in the
dolphins
script. Now
of the air.
This would actually be a really good lead into our guests because this is the reason they have jobs, because we're fucked up, right? Like we're like our heads are messed up. We talk about this stuff, and but I had a really, really sweet book of Earl lined up, but I'm gonna tailor from that just based on what's happened today. If you watched the show earlier today, Kyle came in, wrote it on the Maddox Mile. So where his people understand that like a fuel blivet got hit. Sergeant Maddox was burned to everything but his toes. Kyle tried to put him out. They kept him alive for a little bit. They got the 9 line in. They flew him out. A couple days later, he died. He's from Bloomington, Illinois. Sergeant Maddox was, and so there's a stretch of highway named after him. So Kyle rode the bike down there and then brought the family to the restaurant that we got where we did the show. And when if you just go back and watch that, you'll see when the Maddox family comes on and talks, and you got mom, dad.
Exceptional people.
Exceptional people.
And his 2 sisters.
And his 2 sisters. One's a 20-year-old.
Cheers to the family, man. Cheers to the family.
One who started, 20-year-old who started a company, and the other one ran track, and she used track to help deal with losing her brother, and and she took his nickname, and the coach accepted it. The coach called her by her brother's nickname, and they've turned everything into progress, and when you hear them talk, it's what we try to say on this show all the time, where it's the Book of Earl is quit being a triggered pansy. No matter what happens in your life, it's okay to get triggered. It's how do you handle it? What are you doing? Are you being productive? And like we said multiple times on the show earlier today there's no words to tell a Gold Star mother and father.
Nope.
There's no words to talk to them, right? Like, what are you going to say? But you can empathize, and like I said on the show today, the empathy and sympathy, the difference is the S.
The S.
Right?
The biggest difference
Right?
is
the biggest
the S.
difference is the S.
That's what I said that.
But
though. I said the S.
Empathy, in my opinion, the difference with sympathy leads to action. So if you don't act on what you're talking about with your battle buddy, then you're just feeling sorry for him.
Yep.
So empathy leads to action. That's exactly what Kyle's doing for his battle buddy. That he tried to save his life, did the best that he could, risked his own life to do it. And now he's riding 3,700 freaking miles.
Insane, man.
On a pedal bike. And
with a rucksack on. With a backpack on.
Yeah. And now he has to have a gun because he almost got kidnapped.
Yeah, he did. He almost got kidnapped.
He almost got kidnapped in Ohio.
By a tall guy with a bloody arm.
Yeah, with a bloody arm. This guy got out of the truck. And he
straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah. MH, we're not kidding.
Yeah,
not kidding.
It's a real thing.
These are truth.
Yeah.
And so that was an absolute pleasure to talk to their family and hear their story and hear what they were doing. And again, we make fun of the boys from Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation because they weren't in a real airborne unit; they were in the 173rd, and it's like the stepsister, so it is what
it's not the division.
It's not the division, right? There's one unit, there's one regiment, and there's one division. Everybody knows that. It's science. You got to trust it.
Back at brag.
Yeah, Fauci said if you're not a Bragg regiment or Delta Force, nobody really cares. it is what it is, and that's why special forces they move around, but where do they start?
Most of them,
Bragg.
the good ones.
Bragg. You know, so back and Bragg. You got to get there. Yeah. So that's pretty much. I'm not going to get into what I wanted to talk about because of that, and I just want you guys that are watching to please go and text Warrior to 801-801. Did I say that right? All right.
That's right.
Yeah. Text 801-801. Text Warrior to 801-801. All right, donate. We're asking for a penny a mile. So if you give $37, remember we don't get any of it. We don't care. Give it to them. The money goes to Gold Star families, goes to first responders, and right now they've already raised enough money from the last event in Boston.
They're already sending
a guy to SOBA for mental health.
Right.
And
they've already gotten a guy into treatment.
Right.
And their goal
is two a month.
Two
right?
a month.
Yep,
Two Gold Star members. First line, freaking police officers
Nick
or
Mac,
EMS,
caveat.
You could caveat,
or active duty service member veterans. But the big difference is that the $37 it's not going to. First of all,
there's
it's not
nothing
going
up
to
the
us,
top.
and
it's going right
it's
there.
going to actively do something. It's not like the bring awareness to or whatever. It's actually going to.
I mean, you can go ahead and just still do 21 push-ups or 22 push-ups a day, and make a difference.
Would you really screw that number up?
I mean, you could do 22 push-ups a day, and you're still not even all the way to 100 on a PT test.
For our guests,
I agree.
Nick.
Well, nowadays you are, right? Nowadays you are, right?
Maybe.
You
only need like 10 now.
Nick was cutting a podcast through some of that and hosting through some of it, but to meet Sergeant Maddox's father. And to meet his parents and to see the resolve, and Nick keeps talking about the reaction to what happened. I mean, to see the resolve. We're all fathers, you know. Yeah. Most all of us are parents. Okay, but to not be bitter, you know, to not say, you know, the Army took my kid. My kid signed up in this nation. You know, to keep moving forward and stay with the mission. It's. You know, his life made them buy into what he was doing because his brothers wouldn't let him go. Yep. And so instead of losing just a son, like his parents said today, you know, they gained several.
They gained a family.
And obviously that's a part of their body. No one will ever replace their child. But refusing to let that family connection die is what we're doing. And for Kyle, everyone's like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And he's looking at me going, this is my therapy. You know, people got to remember, you know, somebody like Kyle and Buddy called, you know, when I was still in Michigan, I called Buddy because I knew he had met Kyle. And I just wanted a little brief rundown, what's this like? And Buddy was like, you know, get ready because this guy's story, it's incredible. And by the time he was done talking, I told him, I was like, I'm going to pull the car over. You know, just talking about, and the thing that rang true to me, and the thing that was the most, that was, it was so ingrained in me when Buddy said it. He said, you know, you can, you know, memories fade, you know, the visuals of them fade. What you can't stop is the audible. And Kyle said, you know, he didn't die quietly. And that's something that he forever is going to live with. You don't get rid of those noises, those sounds, and it's not a dignified way to go. And for Kyle, that's something that he's going to forever live with. So for him, this is therapeutic to do this. And for
speaking
the family,
of therapy, real quick, speaking of therapy, Rob, who always joins the Trash Talk Hour every Saturday, and you know has told us in the past that we've changed his life. He put in the chat. Here's a question: I lost my battle buddy. And I wound up disabled. Other than donating, which I've already done, what can I do?
You already did it, brother.
You already did.
I mean,
you already
did it, man.
Just stay in the family.
The donating thing is a thing, but you know what the funny thing is looking at both Kyle, because Kyle, I mean, it's not like he's perfect. You know what I mean? He went through a large rough patch after you know, Anthony Maddox died. It wasn't great for him, and he had a lot that he had to deal with. And then you look at Sergeant Maddox's family, his sisters, and his mom and dad. And the thing that strikes you is that they made a choice. Like, you choose to look. There are two paths that you're going to go down. One's negative and one's positive. And if you choose to go down that negative path, I mean, it's not a forever path. At some point, you have to choose to take the positive route, and that's going to be, that's going to make the difference for you. And that's what, nobody would have faulted Anthony Maddox's mom and dad if they just shut down, stayed in their house, and didn't do anything for the rest of their lives, and were just crushed by what happened. It's the worst thing that I can think of that could happen to another person, right? But instead, they chose to say, okay, well, this happened. The reality is that Anthony's gone. How are we going to make the best of this completely horrible situation and help other people? And it's not like the ultimate sacrifices.
They build houses.
Yeah, the ultimate sacrifices
Habitat
isn't
for
the only thing they
Humanity.
do.
Yeah.
They do they do HUD and build houses for other veterans.
And they name the houses after their son.
Yeah, your disability is you might have
They
a
bring
disability.
no attention to themselves whatsoever and what they've been
None.
Yeah, but-
None.
But
always wanting to pay it forward.
To answer Rob's question, your disability is your disability. It doesn't mean that you don't have other
It doesn't
abilities.
define you. That's just a problem that you have.
And if you can still type and you can still talk, you can still spread a message of positivity to other people doing whatever you're doing in your daily life. And if you're doing that, you're be the change
You're
that
impacting.
you want
Yep.
other people
Yep.
to see. So if you're, you have a choice when you're driving down the road and somebody's acting like a dick, or you're acting like a dick, and then they,
Happens.
and there's a road rage incident. You have a choice right then to turn it into something positive and just be like, hey man, my bad, or do whatever you're gonna do, or you can go another route, and but you have to make choices and you have to live with those consequences. And when you wake up in the morning, if you tell yourself, hey, today I'm going to do something positive, and you go out and try to do something positive, well, then you are doing something in memory of the people that we've lost. And like we say on the Memorial Day shows every time.
Yeah, buddy, I was going to say that. You said it best a couple episodes ago. Well, probably 10, 20 episodes ago when it comes to Memorial Day, and we always want to, be all fucked up and sad on that day and everything, and I used to do that too for all the brothers that we lost overseas.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what would they do if they were here? They would be celebrating. They would be barbecuing. Like, let's celebrate
what
their lives.
dads would do if they were here.
Exactly.
And
that really, that really created a shift in my mind, buddy, the way you broke it down.
Yeah,
But,
and that's the thing. You have to decide to look at things
100%.
in a positive way. And if you've looked at things negatively for a long time, then it's going to take a long time for you to break that habit. But it's a habit that you can break. You don't have to be negative. You don't have to be a grumpy asshole all the time just because you've been a grumpy asshole.
I was being shot at.
Yeah.
The negative is the negative. It's already happened.
Yeah.
It can be, but the difference is it can be over right now.
Yeah.
You can continue and carry it out, or you can choose to do something different.
Right. So bottom line, is this is a good lead into our guest because this is what they do. They help. They help performance. They help getting through adversity. Help you be resilient. All that stuff. Which again, you don't think that there's a market for it, but they're going to tell you why there is one. And we were supposed to have Karen on. We love Karen. She's our life coach for VTT. She got COVID, so she's not feeling very well. And again, I used her with her skills with, mental health and all that kind of stuff to improve the performance of my men. And she did that. And she did it. You got 135 guys qualify expert, and it's like, and I was like, how did you do it? I'm like, I didn't do it. She did it.
Yeah, she took a pocket full of pencils out there.
Yeah, started popping the tags.
She made Nick qualify expert, which is just a feat in itself. Unreal.
Yeah, Nick qualifies expert every time he goes to the range, and it's Alt-C with pins.
So let me introduce our guest. It's a pleasure to have them on the show. Dave already got them, and they help build performance. Right? They're designed to make people's lives better. And we got hooked up through Colonel Rob and the Mad Colonel. So when the Mad Colonel gives us a guest, only one of them have been bad. So the rest of them have been really good. So you got no pressure really, because one's already been bad, so you'd only be the second bad one if you suck. We don't think you are, but welcome to the dumpster fire. Welcome to the Trash Talk Hour, and tell us, like I said in the script, tell us why you get embarrassed when you have to say you're from West Point. Because everybody says that. Like, yeah, I went to West Point. No, it's okay. You can be proud of it. Like it's cool. And especially if you got an engineering degree, because it's like top 5 school in the world in it. So like it's cool.
Well, top 5 public school.
Yeah, public school, not Austin
public
Peay.
school.
Not Austin Peay.
Not a private school. You know what I mean? Like it's not MIT.
It's funded by public.
Yeah, it's
Not at Harvard in the Southeast.
not
There you go. There you go.
Well,
Exactly.
and I go to UTEP, which is the Yale of the Southwest. So
Boom.
it's like
these are the skull and cross
it
cross
is
legs.
what it is. But welcome to the show,
Not so
guys.
much.
The floor is yours. Please share your story, your service, what drives you to do what you do, and how can we help you?
Well, hey guys. First, my name is Jamie, and I just want to thank you for having us on today. And you were talking about Fort Bragg. Well, Fort Bragg is near and dear to our hearts because that's where the 3 of us met. Myself, Jamie, my wife, Susan, both West Point graduates, met at West Point, but didn't date until Officer Basic course. It's a whole nother story. But I was stationed at Fort Stewart, but Susan was stationed at Fort Bragg, and I would drive up 95 every weekend, every time we weren't deployed or in Operation Southern Watch or whatever. I was home. I was up at Fort Bragg, and that's where MH was there at Fort Bragg with Susan. So when we got married, we lived in Fort Bragg. We all stayed around Fort Bragg. We had our children, our first children at Fort Bragg. We loved Fort Bragg. Susan was in the 82nd.
Oh, so there is somebody here.
There is somebody smart.
Airborne. What unit? What unit?
And you got Womack babies. You got Womack
Yeah,
babies.
yeah.
All right.
Womack babies, yeah.
Womack babies that come with their own.
Yeah, both
with
my
their own
daughters
jump
are
record.
Womack babies. So
Both my kids are Womack babies as well.
yeah.
They probably need some therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both also had the same midwife. Yeah. Wow.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
I just need therapy about being at Fort Bragg. I don't know. Big difference. But yeah, no, I was in the 82nd and he was in 3rd ID. And after we got married, we were trying to, just get together. And they sent me down to 3rd ID. And I became a dog-faced soldier. And boy, that was a culture shock going from the 82nd to 3rd ID.
Yeah, so like rock of the what?
I bet
So it's like,
Where is
Rock
the
of
Marne?
Where the hell is the
Who is
Marne?
the Marne?
Is that
And
World War
where
I?
did she come
What did
from?
that happen?
Yeah.
What happened?
Jamie, how many times did you wake up and say, when do we do PT?
But anyway, so when Susan was dating me, I was a dirty, nasty leg. Right? I wasn't airborne qualified.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
imagine
You're lucky you kept her.
wow.
yeah, how much kids she got from her platoon sergeant when the dirty, nasty leg would come up to visit his
Oh, yeah.
How'd you get out of there? How'd you get out of there without getting roughed up a little bit?
in the platoon area. He wouldn't let me in the platoon area. I had to stay,
If you're
stay in my
listening, I
car.
remember distinctly Jamie, the first time I introduced Jamie to my platoon, he stood outside and he was like, "Ma'am, I can't believe you're going to marry this fucking leg." Like, well,
Jamie, look right into the camera and go, who's laughing now?
Yes.
Babies and a ring on the finger. This guy.
Live in Hawaii.
That's who married her.
Winning.
So that's Jamie's saying he wasn't airborne at the time. So then you went airborne because of that. Is that what?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. If you're in an argument, how many arguments do you lose? If you're already down because you're the dude in the relationship and she's always right anyway, and then she just hits you with like, you know what? I got pre-jump. You sit here. Let me go jump out of an airplane real fast. And you're just like, man, now I'm emasculated.
You're just always wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm airborne. Shut up.
All right.
Jamie, did you get the
Hold on,
question,
I
if
made
you
you
love
gonna
me,
say
and then all of
something.
a sudden you were like, son of a bitch, I'm jumping out of a plane for this woman.
Well, I'm just gonna let you all know that Susan and I are both riggers as well. So
Oh,
there you go.
look at that. So they were airborne the whole time.
The whole
like it
time.
wasn't even.
Fine.
That's terrible.
They were
Not
both
to,
airborne. I'm a dirty, nasty leg.
not
and I
to
couldn't-
mention when you did get airborne qualified, you weren't a rigger. So there was always the like, oh, you think you're right? Cool.
So I mean,
When was that
right,
next
right,
jump
right.
though? I got a special parachute for you.
I
So
packed that,
I
honey.
go through airborne school. I go through Q course. I get to group. I'm at 3rd group. I go to combat. I come back home from 1st Torn combat. And Susan says, well, I still have more mass tac jumps than you.
800 feet at nighttime.
Wah, wah, wah.
Listen, Jamie, a paratrooper's going to be a paratrooper. You can't blame us, okay?
Yeah.
It's who we are.
I'm married one.
Yeah,
That's right.
Airborne.
Way to
So
go.
Wait till
Way
she.
to go. You
Wait
showed
till
it.
she
So
hits you
tell
with
us how you
a-
got, how everybody
Response.
started then. What you started your venture, you all at Bragg together, and then like what are you doing now?
We were at Bragg together, and we were part of opening the first holistic wellness center right there in Fayetteville, right off of Bragg Boulevard. And
That's a dangerous place to be
spot.
opening
No,
something up.
hang out,
Great
hang out,
spot.
down and hang out.
In 02.
Yeah,
Was
so
it close to Mickey's or on the other side of Bragg Boulevard?
On the other side.
hang out.
Susan, what kind of reception
I'm
did
gonna
you
hang
get
out
to an
right
opening
before
for
you get to the
Holistic
airport
in
with you.
2002?
Right at the
Yeah.
hang out.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a great place, and it was interesting. It was like you kind of were making me think because, back in 2002, it's like we were seeing people. I mean, we started that business with one kind of vision and intention, but then just like we do, right? We adapt and respond to what's going on, and everybody remembers what 2002, 3, 4, 5. I mean, yeah, we've been in this global war on terrorism for 20 years, but at the time when we started that business and what they were seeing in DOD and VA, people weren't really, there were no resources for people coming back home who were experiencing post-traumatic stress. It was it's like, hey, go down and see the therapist, pop some pills. And there really was nothing else. And now I think, fast forward 20 years, we understand, I think all of us would agree that, trauma, or if we think of what post-traumatic stress is, it's really a normal response to an abnormal situation. So let's just normalize it. Like it is
Childbirth.
stigma around it, and it's a multifaceted approach to get yourself back into being a resilient human being that is contributing to society in a positive way. And you're talking about those Gold Star families, and we certainly know and love and are very close to a lot of them. And there is nothing that Gold Star families want more than to see us as warriors thrive and continue on their legacy. They don't want to see us like sitting back and not doing anything and struggling. That is the last thing any of these Gold Star families want.
Yeah, and they don't deserve it either, right? They deserve to see us thrive and to love them and to take care of them and leave the memory of their loved warrior, right, to a positive light. Just like the ride you guys were talking about and my buddy was talking about with, hey, every day you choose, right? We make a decision. Every day we make a decision on how we want to live.
Yeah.
And every day is a struggle. Every day is a struggle. And when you have certain tools available to you, you use the tools you have. And so our mission has been, because this was 02, I deployed my first deployment in 03. I was a 3rd group for 2 weeks before I was in Bagram. And so then I come back from that deployment and we had 90 days to go to our 2nd deployment. And I, thank God for me, I had Susan in my corner. She was my yoga instructor. Okay. So I married my yoga instructor. She was airborne. She was a yoga instructor. She was a rigger.
Cliche.
Okay.
So basically,
And look at her, of course, right? So
All
course,
of those things are serious bragging points, except for the fact that you were in yoga. I'm just saying, paratroopers. I'm sorry, ribeye steaks, occasions.
I am a yogi.
Amazing.
I can explain to you why, but
All right, fine.
There's no need. You'll dig a big hole, but go ahead.
I know there's way more into yogi. I think I know where you're going at with that, the mental aspect, and not just like everybody thinks yoga just sitting there doing like crazy. Yeah.
I'm sure they're
I'm with you.
surprised Arizona's hammering that yoga out right now. So,
I am actually, I do competitive yoga, so
I do.
Yeah, I'm the best. I beat everyone at yoga.
Yeah.
It's because they look at me. I'm deceptively
It's like
flexible.
who sweats first.
And then
But
I'm
he's
just
finished
and then
first,
I'll
which
just,
means he
I'll like,
won in
I'll
his mind.
I'll
He's
rip
the
my
one laying
own
on the back.
like quads just
yeah,
to like
yeah.
do it, and I'll look at him and I'm like, yeah, beating you at yoga.
Yeah, you get
And
that?
they're like, this isn't a competition. Says you, nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
exactly.
it's definitely a competition. And you lost.
Put it up on the chart.
I'm gonna need. After I
tore my
stretch,
quad in half, but you lost.
after I stretch better than them, I just go take their mat and then I walk off.
Yeah, so if you guys hear some noise in the background, this is our first show live from a VFW. We're at the VFW post. What is it?
454.
454.
Just like the engine.
Right, in
baby.
Bloomington, Illinois. So hey, VFW, I know you guys kind of blew us off when Troxel got us introduced. We don't need your promotion. We want to promote you. Okay, you guys.
This is a nice
You guys
VFW
are
too.
dying. We're not. Okay, so let us promote you, and we will make events at all the VFWs that we can. But okay, so shameless plug there, guys. Keep going. What's your business? What does it take to do what you guys do? How do we help it?
What is MH? What are you? What's your part of the company?
What do we got going on here?
Yeah, we all work together,
Is that
helping people live abundantly.
So are
Your
you
body
in
is
Hawaii
like-
also?
Say again. No, I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm
Okay.
native Texan, stuck up here in the frozen tundra. So, I make the most of it.
Nice.
MH, it's not frozen. I just drove through there from South Lyon, Michigan, with my boy Kevin. Literally, to
Yeah,
get here.
we could go it was.
But yeah, tell us what everything's about, and how do we help? How does our audience help? How can they get help by you guys? Like, give us all that good stuff.
I'll let Jamie and Susan explain because they got started and I joined them.
Well, before they do that, then, because Buddy asked you a question, is what do you do for them?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I help people feel better, feel like they did in their 20s. And I have the blood work to prove it.
Did you get it from cows? Did you steal that blood?
From the cows, right?
From
the cows, right?
I am an alien.
There.
I'm just gonna let you
Unreal.
know.
Got it.
Unreal, we figured it out.
She's originally from Texas. She's also from Texas.
She had a farm.
She had a farm. She's
cows.
worked around
That's
cows.
suspect right
and
there.
Boom.
Stretch
and,
2, 3, and 4.
And
MH
she
is
helps
an alien.
people.
We figured it
We've
out.
got
There you
blood
go.
that's got parts of human stuff in it.
Yeah.
All right. So I got it. MH.
Alien.
There we go.
Her log buddy home right there.
Yeah.
I just tell you, Susan would teach me how to make homemade almond milk back in 2001, 2002. I've called her granola girl since the beginning. And she actually was I don't remember your position, Susan, but she worked for Warriors at Ease that was bringing yoga into the military community. And you can knock it, but you need to try it first, okay? So you can joke all you want.
Competitive yoga.
Jamie can talk to you about his deep breathing exercises, but really, I feel better now than I did in my 20s. I'm 70 pounds less than I was about 7 years ago when I was diagnosed with complex PTSD. Got to a suicidal level for a variety of different reasons. If anyone wants to reach out to me personally, I'm more than happy to share. Let's just say that pharmaceutical drugs are not necessarily the best thing for you in the long run.
At all.
Wait.
No, hey, MH, you're being very, very nice
Judicious.
to pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well-
throw them under the bus if you want to, because we
don't like 'em.
We agree with you 100%, and we'll say it nice.
Yes.
We'll say it a lot uglier.
Thank you. Well, I've seen lives changed, and mine's one of them.
Yeah.
And in a few different ways, the complex PTSD side, the adrenal fatigue, your body responds in one way or another. So you were talking earlier about how people respond to stress and pain and loss and all the crap you have to deal with in life. You can't control what happens to you. So for me, I was married. Right now I'm a single mom of 3 girls, 20, 16, and 11. So y'all can keep me in your prayers, but I'm a whack-a-mole parent. But that was plan A, right? It was to raise a family, have a job, do what I'm going to do. Divorce was not in my cards, and nor was living in Michigan when I'm from Texas, but that's where I'm at, right? So I moved on to plan B. Worked as a startup for 4 years and had fantastic opportunity, but it was completely tied to sports and entertainment market. And when COVID hit, boom, right? That was over. So I didn't have plan C for COVID. Started struggling again with depression, laying in the bed, couldn't get out of it. And my good friend Susan, who has been my friend since 18, kept reaching out and said, hey, I've got something I really want to share with you. Here's how it's helping other people. Here's what we've seen. I've seen people get off of Prozac. I've seen a lot of different changes. I knew she's not a medical doctor, but she's proven to me, one, that she cares about me, And two, that she knows her stuff. She knows her holistic stuff. So that's how I got started. And I did my own blood work, and things changed dramatically. Weight loss changed dramatically. And I am more than happy to encourage others and help them know that, yes, there are many other options, whether it's yoga, whether it's riding a bike, or whether it's taking something that's herbal, that has the FDA, feedback and backing and studies to prove its worth.
That's awesome, MH. That is so. Susan, I guess you got to follow up now with what exactly do you do? Because that's an amazing story. Obviously get off the pharmaceuticals. I'm not telling vets that are taking them, to be able to be semi-productive, but like I was prescribed sleeping pills, and I talked to my medic, Doc Esser, and he's like, "What the hell are you taking? Read the label." Suicidal ideations, nightmares, and I'm like, why the hell am I taking this crap? So I don't take them anymore. But go ahead, Susan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge thing in our community. I mean, you see people, they're taking this drug and then they got to take this other drug to counteract that drug, and it's just, it becomes a whirlwind. And so what we really do is offer people something different, an alternative, or something that you can integrate into what you're doing from conventional side of, your medical treatment. So obviously, I mean, Jamie and I are yogis. Yoga and meditation's been a big part of what we do. And MH mentioned, I was the executive director of Warriors of Ease, and that's what we did. We trained yoga and meditation instructors to work specifically with veterans with PTS, traumatic brain injury, chronic pain. We worked with amputees. The beautiful thing about yoga is anybody can do it. You can adapt it to anybody. And it is, if you go, sometimes we get people going to physical therapists and they're like, oh, this is what my physical therapist says. Well, that's because so much of it comes from that practice. But what we found, and particularly during COVID, is that, those practices only work if you do them.
And you guys proved it. It's tough to get somebody to do yoga.
Yeah.
In 02, I'm in a team room doing.
It's not. Hold on. First of all, it's not tough to get anybody to do yoga. It's tough to get people to admit they do yoga.
Yes.
There's a big difference. I do yoga. I do yoga all the time. I don't admit I do yoga because I'm not a nerd.
You just did.
Except for that last part.
Yeah, I used to tell guys.
There's a reason I can be competitive at yoga, Jamie. It's because I'm good at it. I can even do a two-person yoga. I can throw them aerial yoga where you're throwing them around with your feet.
Flexibility is way overrated. All right, so just like
mobility.
More
Who needs that?
More power and punching.
Buddy even got an 8 from the Russian judges in synchronized swimming after he started yoga.
Yeah,
that tells you guys anything.
No, hey, so again, let's.
Anyway, Jamie, what were you saying?
Hey, we got to circle back to again. How can you guys help the veteran community? Where's the platform? Is it a nonprofit? Is it profit? How do we help get people to what you guys do?
Yeah.
So the other big piece of what we do, which MH was talking about, which is for us has been great for us as, in terms of being able to help more veterans, right? We can't be everywhere. We can't do everything, but we can share this amazing herbal supplement that we have. It's actually, it looks like a supplement, but it's really quite different. It is a cellular activator, and there is some incredible research behind it. It activates your body's ability to do its own internal healing. So it works with very specific, we said, Interrupt2 Warrior, you can go read about it. You can see some awesome testimonials from some veterans, amazing veterans, including one of our, SF brother actually, who just competed in the Florida Ironman. Yeah. And he tells his testimony about what these products did for him.
What group?
But
now, Susan, real quick, is this for active duty, or are the individuals that you're dealing with that are going through this program, are they veterans now? Are they out, or everybody?
We have guys active duty across the soft enterprise, even in formations right now, taking it at their own because they want to try the supplement, because we're all busted up, we're all beat up, our body's not healing, and as we age, it gets harder for it to heal. So wouldn't you like to feel like you were 20 years old again, but with better judgment?
Absolutely, 100%.
So it's like, what it does is it gets your body to start healing yourself, activating an NRF protein pathway when you take this product. And Susan, explain what the NRF2 pathway does. I'm not a biochemist.
Yeah, explain that to the viewers.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really complex science, which you can go check out if anybody is like really into the science of this and wants to. I mean, we've got 31 peer-reviewed studies, medical studies, and this is not by our company. These are American Heart Association. This is Harvard's done one.
Harvard of the Northeast.
The original Harvard.
LSU, Ohio State. I mean, you name it. There's all these leading institutions. Duke University Medical Center did a study on this, and so we're actually triggering these pathways in the body to turn up your body's ability to make its own antioxidants. So instead of just like, okay, I'm gonna, because let's face it, not everybody is eating the best diet or whatever. I mean,
it's America. It's America.
Going for those cows.
Yeah, right.
Maybe we can't get enough cows because MH is over here taking their blood.
Yeah. Just cleaned out the ribeyes. Can't eat red meat.
Yeah, so we kind of first really got into, we've always been interested in various kinds of plant medicine, used it for ourselves, didn't really need the research to be using it for ourselves, but just like with yoga meditation, we were part of actually the research that helped to get yoga and meditation into like the inpatient PTSD programs and the chronic pain clinics. I mean, that's part of mine and Jamie's journey over the past 15 or so years. And so when this came to us, we knew that if we want to help bridge the gap, that maybe active duty service members are feeling that they're, service. I mean, kudos to all the service providers out there, all the healthcare workers, but we also know you're overworked. You don't get the education on how to use the things that are around us, like the plants that have been on this earth healing people for thousands of years. But that's where people like us get to do that research and work in partnership with healthcare providers, or for people that I mean, y'all know, we got plenty of veterans that are like, I am not stepping into the VA. I am done, like, won't even get close. And that's
so go ahead. I was just gonna ask your facilities where this, like, if somebody's watching right now and they're like, this sounds awesome, I want to get into this treatment, I want to do this. Are you just located in one state? Because obviously you guys are all over the place. She's in Michigan, you guys are in Hawaii, right? If there's somebody in North Carolina that's watching right now and saying, this is awesome, like, how do they sign up? Like, what do they do?
They go to nrf2warrior.com.
Okay.
And that's us. We are based in Hawaii. So we also have another website, mindbodyaloha.com. You can check out either one, but the nrf2warrior.com, we really branded that and really are targeting our veterans and our first responders, because we want to share stories. You'll go on there and you'll see some story. There's a great testimonial from a Vietnam veteran on there.
Those are the forgotten ones too, are Vietnam vets.
Yeah. And they didn't have access to a fraction of the stuff we have access to now. So this gives us the ability to help people of all generations. We travel a lot and talk and teach, but more importantly, just know if you contact us through nrf2warrior.com about anything we've talked about, you can be interested in the product or not interested in the product or the services that we offer. But if you reach out to us, we will, one of the three of us or other, we've got an amazing team. We have an amazing team of veterans that will listen. They'll respect your service. They are here to help and not take advantage of anybody. And that's really what we're continuing our legacy of service by doing this.
Because
absolutely.
NRF2 Warrior, right? Everyone's tired of paying money for things that don't work.
Correct.
You don't want to pay money for things that don't work.
Hey, Jamie, or that they don't have a choice.
Right, exactly. Right? Taking something that.
Good point, Nick.
Right. And so what we do at NRF2 Warrior is you get our product from NRF2 Warrior and you take it, because it reduces oxidative stress in the body by 40% in 30 days. That's what our product does. If you can reduce oxidative stress in the body by 40% in 30 days, you're able to get to the root cause, right? So as a soft guy, as SF guys, we want to get after what's the problem, what's the root cause of the problem.
And active duty members can take this and will not come up hot on their drug test, right?
It's VSCG certified. We've got a athlete that take it.
What is the main ingredient in the proprietary blend? What is the main the herbal supplement?
Ashwagandha, baochopa, turmeric, green tea, and milk thistle.
Yeah, I guessed right.
Yeah, but it's the synergy, right? It's the synergy of it. So you can play biochemist at your house and take a teaspoon of this and a tablespoon of that and a tea of that and all that for years, like we've done. Or you can take one that
I did that with cinnamon once. It sucked.
Yeah, it sucked, right?
Yeah, a whole teaspoon.
Well, it's like a recipe on a cake, right? If you use a cup of salt and a cup of sugar,
it wasn't.
you get a different
I told
result.
him cinnamon was good for his blood flow. And he ate half a bottle of it and almost died.
He said, take it. And if you love me back, you'll take this cinnamon. So I did it, and it sucked. Fellas.
No, that's
yeah.
awesome.
So all of the science is done for you. And so what we say, hey, we don't want you paying for anything that doesn't work. So it takes about 30 days per decade of wear and tear. Some of us have more wear and tear than we have years on this planet, right? So
absolutely.
We say we tell everybody, take it for 6 months. Take it for 6 months. Get yourself a blood test. If it didn't work for you, if your blood is not better, if your numbers and markers are not better, and we have a whole list of what numbers to track, then we'll give you 100% of your money back at NRT Warriors.
Now, would you recommend this for kids too, or is this just,
It's not recommended for anyone under 18, but we'll talk to anybody who contacts us.
Right. Yeah. That sounds amazing. I mean, I'm gonna after the show we'll get together. I'm gonna order today and see what's up, and then I'm gonna check my blood here in about 90 days and we'll see where we're at. Yeah.
We've made the aliens out of it.
Don't worry.
Yeah, 100%.
If you don't check your blood, MH will fucking
over there
check your blood for you.
I just said I live in Michigan. You don't know really where I park my
But you
aircraft.
have a spaceship. Like you can get
like
anywhere.
You just go wherever you want.
We've seen how spaceships work. You just go into
every
your little
alien
thing, and
in
it's like
Michigan lives in
you turn into
K-Zoo.
dust, and then you get where you're going.
So with this stuff,
So go ahead, Nick.
No, go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
I was gonna ask, the product, is it just available online or is it available in stores?
Online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only online.
No,
And one thing to think about too that I just want to toss out there, because I think look at all of us. We all are seemingly healthy. I mean, yeah, we may have aches and pains, but compared to the average American, most people probably look at us and say, "You guys are doing all right." But the thing that I think we need to keep in our mind as veterans, and particularly as aging veterans, not that we're getting old, but it's going to happen.
Age is just a number.
Speak for yourself. I'm still in competitive yoga, so I don't want to hear it.
You're
fine.
just doing yoga.
I mean, you're still doing competitive yoga. 20 years from now, you're doing yoga.
Competitive.
But you got to think about the things we've been exposed to, right?
Yep.
And we talk about because we're talking at the cellular level, right? So the things that aren't necessarily showing up as symptoms right now, they're going to show up as symptoms 10, 15, 20 years from now. So we've got. If you just think about all the things we're exposed to between burn pits.
I was going to say burn pit is probably the number one, and I fear for all of us that are sitting here. Yeah.
Our bedroom door was 200 feet away from a burn pit that was at least 100 foot in diameter for 15 months. That goes for Dave.
We had to dig it.
Nick and myself. We were either burning trash or feces until we built our own urinals and built our own.
Well, the SF guys did that for us.
We literally, but until that, we were burning all of that. And I remember,
and then we did it again in Baghdad, right, Nick? A year later.
The first guy he had skin. Remember the guy from the 101st that had the skin missing off his arm?
Yeah.
It was from a cup of fruit. They were taking the kitchen trash out and it exploded on his arm. And I mean, this is how close it was. Fruit syrup that put 3rd-degree burns on his arm. That's how close they're standing next to a burning pile of trash all day, and that's the trash pile guys. The guys that were in charge of making sure that thing didn't get out of control were standing right on top of it.
And then we found 25
And the guys that weren't were sleeping 200 feet away from it. So it's like, if there is a problem with that, we
were breathing that in daily, Joe. Yep.
Yeah.
No, hey,
and I came back from Samara, and then suddenly had psoriasis. Never had psoriasis my whole life, so I don't know if I can tie that to the burn pit, but it's an immune deficiency, and I never had psoriasis. And we came back from Iraq, and boom, suddenly, psoriasis.
El Paso last week, and Dave was my first team leader. But at El Paso 2 weks ago, or 3 weeks ago, whatever. But it was the first time I ever noticed, and you said, yeah, psoriasis. Yeah.
No,
after we got back from Iraq.
So that's an autoimmune response,
Yep,
right? And
yep.
again, there's over, like Jamie mentioned, there's over 250 diseases that have the root cause of oxidative stress, right? It's like your body's on fire. Oxygen, can be a good thing, but can be a bad thing too at high levels, whether that's from burn pits, the junk you're breathing, the junk in the water, the junk in the air, exercising too much, too little, depending on the food that you eat. One of these pills for 30 days is the same as eating 11 pounds of blueberries a day, right? Your antioxidants are good stuff, dark wine, dark chocolate, red wine,
So I can
right?
take one of those pills and it'll be like.
Do they give you energy as well?
Because
energy, like if you're hooked.
Hey, she sold me that red wine. Let's just do the red wine, and then we're good.
Like energy levels
Not red
increase.
blood, but red wine, right? Yeah.
If
So
you're
there's
hooked on
three different-
caffeine, coffee,
You're gonna get
monsters.
the blood, MH. You're gonna get it. We know that. We've got that already. No, so I do want to say something here. See, get what your guys' opinion is on it. We attack Western medicine because, and I've said on the show 100 times about the English language being very linear. So if this causes that, right? And when your knee hurts, we X-ray your knee, we MRI your knee, we cut your knee. 5 months later, your knee hurts, we X-ray your knee, we MRI your knee. We don't look at the whole system. We don't do all that kind of stuff. With that being said, and Buddy said it on a show before, is most of the time when somebody's coming up with a supplement or a drug to help a problem, they're not the enemy. All right, so Western medicine has done a lot of great things on how to target one or two things exactly at the point of injury, right? Now, like I said, like Buddy says, is they come up with these drugs and then the pharmaceuticals find a way to treat 17 different ways of things and then create 17 more drugs to counteract those drugs. And then we start to fall away from the natural stuff.
We're
like
not
you're
treating,
talking
we're
about.
medicating.
Yeah, exactly. We're not treating, we're medicating.
You're chasing symptoms is what you're doing.
right,
You're chasing
right.
symptoms,
Right.
right? We're fixing the systems that are broken to get rid of those symptoms. Does that make sense? There's a difference. That's why it's a cellular activator versus a supplement. They're different. It's a new medical technology.
Right. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's a medical technology to get your body to do what your body would do naturally if it was healthy.
It's intended to do.
There's
Exactly.
Well,
absolutely.
that's what's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful. The guy that did the research, he actually did synthetic first,
Yeah.
right? So he tried the synthetic side, and it would turn the systems back on, but they never shut off, right? So you turn on a car and let it run forever. That's not good.
Yeah.
With the herbal side, he figured out the exact recipe and ratio so that it upregulates and downregulates as the body needs.
Right. And then, well, there's, and back to the pharmaceuticals, and there's no pill that's going to make your muscles regrow. There's no pill that's going to.
As you get older, your cells don't regenerate as fast.
The only thing that a pharmaceutical medicine can possibly do is poison your system and then make your system react to that poison in a way that's beneficial to a symptom that you have, as opposed to getting your system to work. There's no other way to get it to work.
Not to mention addiction comes from that then too.
Now, Jamie, these are enlisted grunts talking like this. Remember that. So it's like as we've been
enlisted guys that go to the Harvard,
the Southeast, or the Yale, the Southwest.
Correct.
But no. As we've been doing this show, and we've brought people on that talk a lot of holistic health because obviously we believe in it and we believe in the community aspect of helping each other. So if you guys can help, then that's what we want to do with Veteran Trash Talk, is get you guys out there to help veterans. What would you say specifically is the best targeted range of veterans to help? Like what? I don't know if I said the question right.
Demographically?
Yeah, demographically.
Demographics,
Who should be the first one to call? I mean, we want to say everybody, but let's be logical. Who's the first one who should call you? What problem that a veteran has is the first person to call you?
Anyone that's hurting.
He's got to ask her. He's got to ask for her permission. She's still airborne. She's airborne prior to
She's
him,
actually
so.
got more. Her t-shirt's got more jumps out of the T10 than he does.
I would say, I'll say, and then y'all say, okay? I would just say anyone who admits they're hurting and wants to take action now. You said earlier some people aren't ready to take action, right? They're still hurting and they're processing it.
Well, change starts within. You got to take that first step. Yep.
So you have to invest in your health, right? Whether that's sleeping, riding a bike, taking the right dose, doing yoga, competitive yoga, right? So someone who knows they're hurting or wants to be proactive with their health and is ready to take action. That would be my response. I'll give it to all of them.
I would echo thank you, mate, because it's what we found in this work, for the last 20 years. It's a lot of people have problems. Everyone has problems. Everyone has something they want to get done. Not everyone has the desire to do what needs to be done to fix their problems. Right?
No.
And so it's the people that are interested in taking action, which we talked about earlier in the podcast, right? You take that action. You have sympathy, empathy. Empathy leads to action. A lot of people just want to sit around and have sympathetic thoughts of themselves, like being
victims.
Victim. That's being a victim. Period. Yeah.
I've been there.
People don't like that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody is a victim at some point. It's just what you do with that. If you do with that victimization, if you allow yourself to continue to be it, and you identify yourself as just, well, that's me.
It's your entire identity.
Yeah,
like I'm not worth anything. I can't do this. I can't accomplish that.
I count on everyone else.
Sorry, Jamie, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Validate how bad I'm in.
Cut him off. That's why we cut him off.
Yeah, it was on purpose. Everything's intended.
Everything's intended. If you
there you go. We all have choices, right?
If you didn't
go ahead,
you just sort of shut up. But go ahead.
So who to reach out to?
Yeah, who's the demographic?
For us, it would be a warfighter, right? It would be the man and the woman who are now going into combat, right? To do what they signed up to do our nation's bidding. And that's the person at the tip of the spear that I wish I had this stuff when I was doing that work. And I wish my guys had that stuff when we were doing that work. We would be more efficient. We'd have more energy. We'd have been more focused. We'd have better concentration. We'd have more stable nervous system. Right? We'd be able to recover quicker. Our bodies would have been stronger. So Susan and I, we always want to look at the person on the ground. Who's the operator that needs it? So if I had to narrow it down to a population, if you're like, hey, you got to narrow it down to a population, it's to the person, to the man or the woman that's pulling the trigger. That's who needs to see this. Nice. And from that point of focus, we then go out from there. Mm-hmm. But the essence is everyone that has a desire to become a better version of themselves.
Right, be more productive.
And to be more productive. Not just for themselves, but for everyone around them, right? We understand that.
Yep.
Everyone around you benefits, or
100%.
They either benefit or they are wounded by your competition,
actions,
your energy,
your actions. Lawnmower going?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Well said. I love it. I love this stuff. So give a shout out. Give a shout out again to the website.
Yeah, shout out to before we give you the last word, where you can do that and give the shout outs to the website and everything like that. Because you get the last word. You're the guest. Buddy's gonna do a recap here. He's doing an AAR.
Nice.
This is his first time.
Nice.
So we're gonna give him a shot at this.
Yeah. So first of all, Jamie, MH, you guys, it's awesome to have you on. And here we're and Susan,
yeah.
We're with you with
Susan.
We've all had
Susan's there.
I'm looking at Susan and MH and Jamie,
remember
looking at all of you, and I can even MH. She kills cows. She sucks their blood.
Don't let us down.
She has a freaking spaceship. Fuck with her. She'll come.
It's professional now.
Anywho,
Walk around and find out.
So anyway, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, all of us have actually been touched pretty. I mean, and I would say that a majority of veterans have seen what pharmaceuticals have done to our community as a whole. It's destroyed so many people. There's so many people that we talk about the 22 a day. Well, there's a root cause for that too, and a lot of that has to do with the pharmaceuticals that we're taking or the alcohol that we're drinking at a freaking amazing rate. But to look at a holistic and an herbal approach and be able to bring that into the community and give it to people so that they have something that's going to help them, because, just like you talk about the holistic approach, one thing can destroy an entire person's spirit, their well-being, and their motivation to live. And if you start, building that one thing back up, everything else kind of falls in line. So we appreciate what you're doing, and we definitely appreciate the theory of going to a holistic approach of something that's going to benefit you in the long run, as opposed to just poison your system. So thanks for being on the show. Also, everybody out there that's watching or listening, text 801-801 or text Warrior to 801-801 and give to the Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. Give to Kyle for his ride. Colin, Mike, Kyle, they're all working really hard to get Kyle from point A to point B. But Kyle's doing the legwork. He's 3,700 miles on a bicycle is an insane feat. And don't just look at what the Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation doing. Look at the story. You can Google this, Sergeant Anthony Maddox, and look up his story. Look up his family, what they've done. They're such great people. That whole organization is filled with great people, and they're asking for, they'll be fine with $1. They'll be fine with $2. There are millions of vets out there. If you give $2, everybody gave $2, we'd be able to fix, so many different people and different lives that it would be insane. But $37, most people waste $37 at Taco Bell in the morning. Like, just,
spend $20 on nicotine and caffeine every morning. I work construction for a living. I mean, I'm just saying.
You can forego something for a day and give $37 to support our community and support each other. So look into the organization. Do your research. Look into their organization. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag do your research. Hashtag Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. Hashtag. But and then keep tuning in to us on Spotify, on Facebook, on YouTube, Apple.
Put the ratings on there.
iTunes, hashtag Apple, hashtag check those ratings. And then Jamie, Susan, MH, back to you for the last word.
Boom!
Oh,
sorry, I had to do it.
Nailed it, buddy.
And the boom was in the script too. So
it's gonna leave me. It was in the script.
I gave you a high five.
Yeah, but you didn't notice. You know what? I challenge you to yoga later.
Okay, yeah, we are. We're gonna do
Boom.
it.
I'm
gonna destroy you in yoga.
Yeah. Hey, come to Golden. Hey, you guys are invited to Golden, Colorado. Have a booth there with your supplements. Come to Golden, Colorado, and
come sell your stuff there.
Or Coronado, California on Father's Day weekend.
Hey, Jamie, Susan, seriously, Colorado's gonna be lit. Come set up a tent there and do what you're doing.
Like I said, or Coronado, California.
I will get the information from you guys.
Yeah, we will. We've got some teammates out there too.
In
the Denver area.
We have Hoot coming on the show on the 18th of June with a Hoot and Young Bourbon. So the actual guy from Black Hawk Down, not the actor, but the actual guy. So we got Hoot coming on. And before we give you the last word, I have to ask though, is that flag behind you, Jamie, because you scored a 4 or a 1 in archery? How does that work? I'm trying to understand it. So,
don't worry. He's only used to blue flags. He's never seen any of those green guys.
I've seen a green one. So blue ones.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. Teach him up. Hook him up, buddy.
Hey, I'm trying to, but he's hurt. He's still hurt from. He's still butthurt.
He's an RI in Florida. He's an RI in Florida.
Yeah, I was buttered for my 24-day non-select in 2005. So.
That hurts.
No, it was fine. I had a great time there. But anyways, last word. Go.
Well, first I want to say that Buddy's AR was on point, but it was the longest AR I think I've ever attended.
Hey, I'm long-winded. Not a huge deal. And coming from an officer, that's not true. We all know that was a fucking lie.
You just added 30 more minutes to the show.
Yeah. It's the longest AR. It's the longest, not even close to the longest AR you've ever had.
Story. I got a story to tell you after this if you want to stay on after this.
Let me guess. You had to go to Ibulloch and then Ranger School and then everything worked out
hey,
for you.
before you take the last word yet again, and since we already screwed that up, a shout out to VFW Post 454 for letting us set up here and being like super awesome all day long.
I'm gonna go pee. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, he's old.
Nick on our sign off is gonna go use the restroom.
Yeah. Well, everybody heard that he has to go pee, but everybody knows that pee is. It's actually code word for poop.
Tactical before I gotta go save the world.
He's gotta go drop a deuce.
Jamie, last word, brother.
Go ahead.
Hey, first, thanks for having us on. We enjoyed this time together, and plenty more stories to talk about. But if you follow us, connect with us at nrf2warrior.com. Just connect with us. You can send a message to us. We'll get back with you, and we'll start the conversation. Also, follow us at nrf2warrior, our Instagram handle. Follow us and keep track of what we're doing and all the great stuff that ourselves and our team is doing, not only in the U.S., but also around the world. So thanks for having us.
Generation veterans.
Thank you.
And make sure you mention Veteran Trash Talk so we know how we met you.
Exactly.
100%. Thanks for coming on, guys. Chris, happy Saturday, everybody. Till next week.
Party on.